Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 1 of a best of 3 and it is between EXDayshi and apparently who had a nosebleed and forced to pause straight away. So Daishi is the purple Terran player in the top right and he's playing against roxkisLZ who is the teal Zerg in the lower left. That means that this is a TVZ or a Zerg versus Terran, and the map of course is Daybreak. It's the tournament version, it's from the Zotac Cup, and as I said, it's game 1 of 3. Now, what can we expect from these two players? Well, Daishi has quite a few options available. Obviously, it could be a command center first, a 1-racks command center, could be proxy 2-racks, could be a cloak banshee opener, who knows, there's different options available. LZ on the other hand is a bit more bottlenecked into what is considered a good opening, and that is basically you get down a 15 hatch, then either a 15 or 16 pool, then into a gas, and really just tech up normally from there. Now, obviously, both these players are going to be keen to win game 1 because ultimately, if you're going into game 2 or game up, you don't have any pressure on you, and that's really critical, especially in a tournament environment. Not so much so in online tournaments, in my opinion, because you are in your own house or at a team house or something like that, so you're somewhere you're comfortable, somewhere you're usually playing, you're not in the pressure of a big tournament or LAN event. Anyway, these two players, here we've got LZ going down now to just go and chuck down his natural expansion. We've got the barracks on its way out from Daishi. Now I'd love to see Daishi go for that 1-racks command center. I said in a lot of my casts recently of ZvT, I think the 1-racks command center opening is the most effective you can be as a Terran player against Zerg, purely because 9 times out of 10 the Zerg player will go for this hatchery, and as a result you know you're not going to have any pressure put on you, and by taking your own natural very early it forces the Zerg to either try and put on some pressure off of 2 bases or to really try and take a quick third, and neither option is that great and really will result in you as a Terran getting a good lead, getting a good economic position, and either being able to punish an early third or really not have too much of a hard time defending, because ultimately if any of your scouts do pick up a lot of units coming over, you can just throw down some more bunkers at the front here, you can be fine, you can get an extra barracks, more marines, etc. Now we do have the gas and pool on their way out for LZ. The pool was done first obviously, and I mean I'm not paying too much attention to the early build here because to be honest, it's all going pretty normal. Everything is going out how it should. The double gas just started out here from Daishi. That again is just to catch up with the tech, to start getting the critical tech units you need, which require gas. Now, while they are just both setting up their sort of early game, let me say, if you do like my casts, please give them a thumbs up or a like. Leave a cool comment below just about the game or the players or my casting. Follow me on Twitter, and of course subscribe, because I get new high level games up every single day of the week. And basically, if you like my games and my casting, I wouldn't want you to miss any, and of course I'd be lying if I didn't say the support is amazing. So that'd be awesome if you guys could do that. Just taking a look down here at LZ's base, well, he's got his first queen out now, the second one just about to pop, and I'm a really big fan of getting 1, possibly even 2 queens purely for creeps, but it makes your defense a lot easier, and it also means, in my opinion, that you get that absolutely brilliant creeps, but you don't have to worry about getting a queen for the third. This Zergling will spot these marines moving over. That's always a good little plus. Now, obviously the follow-up to this kind of play is you get the double gas, you've got the factory on the way, as well as reactor, so you will get reactor Hellions there purely for map control, or if a massive opportunity arises, getting in the base and the mineral line. The other options available, of course, is once this factory finishes, you can chuck down a starport, which again is an option to get those cloak banshee out as well as the reactor Hellions, and with that you poke in the back to start doing some damage with the Hellions, with the banshees rather than the Hellions come in the front door. But that is not going to be the approach out of Daishi, who's going for a very basically economy focused build. I mean, he's got a 3rd command center already on its way, and that will probably stay in the main base for quite a long time, because the 3rd down here is not too easy to defend because of this very wide open space. But I mean, having that extra command center will do 2 things. One, it will be morphed into an orbital command, so you'll get the extra mule and scan, but you will also increase your SCV production by, well, 50%, so that is really nice. It means that you'll suddenly be able to keep up with the worker count, and you'll have great economy. Now, of course, all of these Zerglings will come in. They should see the Hellions. The Hellions may struggle to get back now because speed is done. One will definitely get picked off here. A second one just trying to dance around a bit, and I mean, losing one Hellion, I think we will see LZ came out worse there. Actually, no, that's quite surprising to me, but that doesn't matter. We do see that LZ is taking his third base. It's a good timing. It's still quite early, but it's a good time to show. Basically, as soon as you see that your opponent does have that expansion down, you know you're safe to throw your own down as a Zerg. Now, this Evo chamber placement, absolutely fantastic. We've got the Cloak Banshee coming out here as well now, so this is going to add a bit more of a pressure, a bit more of pain to LZ, who, I mean, as we look at it, he's not even started Lair yet. He's got his Evo coming down, but he won't have any way to scan to find out unless this Overlord gets in, which is looking exactly like what is going to happen. There is no Marines anywhere close. The Zerglings have managed to get in, and this is a big little push here. How many workers were killed there? Only 2, so that's pretty lucky getting away with that. But of course, the Banshee is basically known. That's because the Tech Lab is there. You can also see the Tech Lab is researching, so you know there's going to be Cloak Banshee. And essentially that means that now we should see some Spore Crawlers thrown down at every single base, at least 1 in each mineral line just to be on the safe side. But the Hellions, they're coming across now, and really in the way of defense there's not much here. More spores coming down everywhere and anywhere. The Zerglings, if they were to move back, could get a really nice round and trap the Hellions in, but the concern is anything coming up into the main, which I think is going to be a big threat. Although the Hellions doing a really nice job of just poking and prodding around everywhere, there is not that many. There's only 6 on the field at the moment, so that won't help huge. We've got 8 on their way down now though, so again that starts getting more potent, but the Queens are already in. The Banshee is what's really going to be interesting to see how that's used. Not quite sure where that one Banshee has gone. Perhaps I'm being a bit blind, but as far as I can see, doesn't seem to be poking or flying around anywhere. It is on the field. I am... Oh no! What's going on? Is that can't be the first Banshee? One must have died already. I must have missed it. The Hellions all got cleaned up between there though. So that was a very nice little engagement. I mean, if we look here, 2 workers killed on each side, but a lot more resources lost for EXDayshi compared to LZ. LZ going for this little Zergling run by. It could be very effective, apart from the fact that there's pretty much a full wall off here, although there is a gap which hasn't actually been closed yet. We do have the 3rd and 4th gas on the way, as well as the double upgrades coming down for both players, and at very similar times actually, only about 8 seconds between both of them, so that's all good. They're going to be on equal upgrades. Now what's really critical is this creep spread. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's because there is a queen there dedicated to doing nothing but spreading creep tumors, and what that's going to allow is by about 12 minutes, assuming this is kept up, the creep should be about over to here at least, and that's pretty much half of the map, and means that you're going to be in a very good spot, because creep not only gives your units enhanced speed, allowing for better engagements, but it also gives you an early warning system. It lets you see exact unit positioning and that sort of thing of anything on there, so that's very helpful. We do have the 4th base on its way down now for LZ, the 3rd base about to come and land here for EXDayshi, and it's an interesting choice of which 3rd he takes, but it makes sense because ultimately he can keep a lot of tanks and stuff and most of his units in this area, which basically doubles up defending his natural main, but there is still this backdoor option which could be utilised. Single Viking dropped out. I think that's a great choice because, let's face it, if you've got a starport down, you may as well make it do something for you. The armory coming down to allow the 2-2 upgrades. Another factory on its way, so we should see tank production really start ramping up. Siege mode is done. Looking back down at LZ's base, he's got the infestation pick coming down. He's got the Baneling speed upgrades on their way, so that's going to get a very nice force. There's also a handful of roaches thrown in, which I think is really nice. That Viking is just Overlord hunting, and I mean, that's again just a nice little cost-effective way to engage. The Banshee is still on the field, although exactly where I am not too sure, but it is somewhere on the field. We've got the Viking, but can I see the Banshee for the life of me? No, I can't. That is annoying. I have no clue. There's a Banshee somewhere. There we go. I found you, Banshee. You couldn't hide for that long. Probably going to come and harass up at the 4th base. That'd be amazing, and we'd probably do quite a considerable amount of damage because there's no queens there either. There's no anti-air on the field. Hive on the way out though, so it looks like LZ's plan really is to go straight the way up to getting those Broodlord Infestor forces. Now, obviously these Banelings are going to get picked off. Every time you lose a Baneling for nothing isn't great. Obviously this is costing money. Picking off the drone should be the target of the Banshee though. The Queen's on their way over. The creep spread not joining up the bases quite yet. Cloak isn't done, and that Banshee engaging head on, that was not good. Could have macroed that very, very well, or microed it rather, very, very well to basically keep it alive. The macro hatch is down for LZ. Hive is nearly finished, but no sign of a spire, so that's really making me think we're going to see ultras, which can be very, very effective, especially with the fungal growth on the infestor, because you basically fungal growth all of these marines, for example, and that stops them running away from the ultras, and once the ultras get into range, they start nomming their way through all of the marines, and it's very, very good. Obviously, a couple of tanks filtering in and out. The income for both of these players is relatively similar in terms of gas, but a big advantage for Dayshi just because of the mules. Does have the rich Vespian geyser as well, but the gas income should start getting better now for LZ, as he does have this 7th and 8th gas down, but of course the 4th base has now just been secured by Dayshi, so that's again going to put some pressure onto LZ to either take this 5th base or to come and do a big push. But I mean, to be honest, he's in a good spot. He's going to take the 5th base, he's getting those infestors out, his ultra cav nearly done, getting the adrenal glands and also that +3 carapace upgrade. Adrenal glands is so good. Dayshi coming over with a very sizable force though here, and I'll be interested to see how this engages, because when you get a force this big where you commit pretty much all of your units, things go one of two ways. You either win or you lose your force. If you lose your force, it can be very hard to hold on after that. The 2-2 upgrades timing brilliantly with this here. We do have some Banelings rolling in, and we should see a very, very big engagement come down. We've got Banelings detonating on a lot of tanks with the roaches in there, trying to pick off the tanks as well. But I mean, to be honest, there's just so many marines in there. This is looking very, very good for Dayshi, with the infestors just popping out now. So many more Zerglings flooding in. And of course, with only one tank, that means that Zerglings will engage quite effectively. We've got some good fungal growth coming out. Chain fungals will be on the cards. There goes the Baneling hits, and suddenly this is getting cleaned up very nicely by LZ. He's really picking up everything he needs. The Adrenal Glands is done. +3 melee weapons on its way. So is the Ultralisk armor upgrade. And now, I mean, the first Ultra should be out somewhere. Here he goes, wandering away, the size of a small building. The tank should get picked off from behind. We should see a big arc round. That'd be really nice. Or may actually just wait for the retreat. That'd be brilliant. So there goes the Unsiege, but lifted up into the tanks. A fungal growth would wreck this party, though, but there isn't going to be one going down. So that was a bit anticlimactic. Apologise for that. But these players will do what these players want to do. Anyway, taking a look back down here, Dayshi's in a good defense position. He picked up quite a lot of his units. In terms of the lost, though, actually in Dayshi's favour, LZ lost about 500 more resources overall compared to his opponent. And, I mean, that's all good. The Spire on its way down, so Broodlords will probably be on the cards. You've got Sensor Towers coming down. Now that I love. I think Sensor Towers are so underused, it's actually sad. We do have, what's this? The personal cloaking field coming down. May even get some nukes. That would be good times, wouldn't it? Everyone would love seeing nukes. A lot of ultras on the way out for LZ, who's nearly maxed out. He's getting a lot more banelings. We'll probably see an awful lot of banelings get produced. The infestor number isn't that high at only 5. Here comes the morphing sound and more banelings. Obviously, those sensor towers are such a good early warning system here by Dayshi, who has got a very strong defense position. The only weak spot I see really is through here, and that is why that second sensor tower is so helpful in allowing this army to reposition to where it needs to be to defend. And obviously the ultras aren't that quick. There is a transition into Broodlords, they're even slower, and that could cause a little bit of a problem. But of course some units getting shown off here, and basically this is going to go into a long haul game now. Drop coming down at the 4th base of LZ should get cleaned up, but the infestors are not going to get out in time, and only one marine gets picked off, but of course an awful lot of drones were killed there. The medevac is spotted by that overlord, and of course there is the spore crawler down here. That spore should be able to do quite a bit of damage. A second spore in there as well now. That medevac gets taken out very quickly, only 2 marines still alive, and a slight overreaction by pulling the entire force back here from LZ, but he does not like marines. He knows what they can do. 3-3 upgrades are actually on the way out for those marines as well. We do have ghosts on the field. That EMP will wreck the infestors, but most importantly we've got some nukes. Everyone loves a bit of a nuke play. Who doesn't? It's absolutely crazy. Now I'm just looking down here, the tank numbers are getting very high. Dayshi's got such a strong defensive position. The Greater Spire is going to be essential to really deal with this many siege tanks, because obviously having Broodlords out basically means that you fling broodlings at the tanks and then they start shelling each other, or the marines, and generally makes sad times. You have to unsiege. That's when the rest of your army runs in. But those two, really just literally those two nukes could really wreck this game depending on where they go off. We do have 2 cloak ghosts coming through, so they're going to be on the cards. One to each base should add a lot of confusion into this, or maybe they just all go to the same base. But to be honest, LZ managing to get up to 213 of 200 supply, so obviously built a lot of something. Now, here we go, we've got these nukes coming down, they're going down everywhere. Will there be a quick enough reaction? That's what it all comes down to. So far, looking like there's going to be very little reaction. One base has been pulled off, won't catch anything. This base hasn't been stopped though, so that nuke is going to destroy so much. That's our time. We've got massive engagement in the middle behind this as well. Some good fun with both go off, but just so many tanks shelling through those ultras. That is not fun times. The ultras do get up close and personal though, and should be able to deal with the rest of it quite well. LZ instantly reinforcing with so many more units, but ZvTDayshi suddenly feeling like he's got a bit of momentum, the work count in his favour. I mean, he's just managed to kill a grand total of 41 drones, even more going down here. This base is definitely going to get sacked very, very quickly, and well, I think the best thing is exactly what ZvTDayshi's doing. He's done some big damage and now he's running away. That ghost still in there and he's picking off a couple, trying to do some damage to some of those Overlord cocoons. 5 Overlords on the way out, so 7 Ultras, and I mean, look at that worker damage being done. 53 workers killed to 2. In terms of loss, this is now coming out about, well, roughly 3,000 more minerals lost for LZ compared to ZvTDayshi. These ghosts just doing an absolute nightmare amount of damage. The detection is nowhere close apparently, and just look at all of these go down. Where is that detection coming in from? I am not quite sure, but it was somewhere it got detection. I really have no clue where though. So here we go, detection came in, but again now up to 69 workers killed. Obviously a couple of burrowed zerglings around, and most of the bases have been taken now by LZ. He is ahead in terms of the base count. If we look at the number of workers, I mean, this is just getting 69 workers killed. That's more than most players will build in a game. Obviously Zerg tend to get out 74, and look at these snipes got some free ghosts, and a massive EMP goes down as well now, but more fun growth. All the ghosts will go down. Not before they killed a good number of broodlords actually. Looking at the loss tab, that's still looking pretty nice. Quite a lot of Thors in, and no, they're not the collector edition Thor. I nearly got excited, but no, we've got a big engagement coming in. This will all come down to really how this fight comes out, in my opinion. It's going to be really close. The Brainlings are getting picked off everywhere. There's just so much going on. This is such a hectic match. And well, obviously it appears that LZ is coming out on top just in pure numbers. At the moment, SCVs are trying to engage Ultralisks. That may be the worst thing you could possibly do. And it does actually look like LZ is pulling ahead. I mean, he's got so much more stuff, effectively. His army supply is over double that of ZvTDayshi, but quite a few ghosts coming in. Need to see some snipes, but of course the 2 overseers are in position. The 4th base just picked off of ZvTDayshi, which basically means that he's down to 1 mining base, effectively. That is never fun, and now there's the stream in of units. The supply depot won't get up in time. That literally could cost ZvTDayshi the game, or at least any chance of holding on. Infested Terrans getting locked down everywhere. We do have those Corruptors engaging the Vikings directly. The Broodlords coming up behind, picking up extra command centers, and now suddenly a lot more lost for ZvTDayshi compared to LZ. To be honest, I expect to see a GG called soon, because I just don't see any way this could come back. I mean, yes, there's a handful of units coming across. That center base is dead, but what are you going to do? Not much. I mean, worker count wise, now finally not leveling out at all in terms of workers killed, but workers on the field has leveled out quite a bit. We've got more infested Terrans popping down. Those 2 Vikings taking a lot of damage, both managed to fall, and I mean, what can you do as a Terran player in this situation? You're behind, you're losing your production capability very, very quickly. The add-ons obviously are the easy target. There's quite a few Marines and Marauder down here, but all of those SCVs getting pulled back, trying to engage as well, and a couple of infested eggs getting locked down there. Actually the SCVs really mess up the Ultralist micro, it would appear, or their AI rather, and they just go completely off the wall. So that's a good trick. SCVs kill Ultras if they aren't controlled correctly. But here we go, we've got everything slowly dying off, and I mean, ZvTDayshi, even if he manages to hold, I don't think he'll be able to do much else, because he's just losing so much. The income's, while he's got some bank, he's not really got any income at all. All of these add-ons are getting taken down. We do have a little counter-attack coming in, which could hypothetically do some damage, but there's too many Zerglings reinforcing. And Zerglings are very, very good, especially when they're 3-3 with adrenal glands. And now, of course, these infestors just lobbing out some more infested Terrans everywhere. The Ultras are just going to town pretty much. Now, defensive turrets actually have really good DPS, but they benefit from the ranged weapon upgrade as opposed to the melee weapon upgrade, so that doesn't do. And this mix is ridiculously unkillable. Well, to be fair, Daishi, you did allow LZ to go for Broodlord, Infestor, Ultralisk, and max out on way more bases, so to be fair, that's a bit of annoyance on Daishi's part, but it could have been anything, and it's a bit BM, to be honest. And well, basically we've got all of the production taken out now from Daishi, so he can't do anything else. So we may as well just speed this up till the end, and there we go. So that was game 1 of this best of 3. If you did like it, thumbs up, comment below, Twitter and subscribe, that'd be awesome, and flick over to my channel. I'll see you at game 2 any second. So bye for now, guys.